Hi everyone, welcome to How Inez Rolls. It's like 7 in the morning, the day before Thanksgiving, and it's now go time. I have to prep as much as I can, and I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. So everything today, and I'm just going to prep, and I'll be cooking everything tomorrow. So there's a couple of recipes I haven't done before, and one that I haven't done in a while. So let's do the one that I haven't done at all. So we're gonna do green bean casserole, but we're not just gonna do it where we're dumping a bunch of chicken stock, which would be super great to do it that way, but no, I thought, let's do it all from scratch. So I got the green beans fresh, and I'm going to be making a sauce that's gonna go with it, and I'm just gonna get it prepped and ready in the dish right here. So let me get my green beans going, and I'm also going to be prepping and cooking up some bacon. So I have my bacon cut up, just cooking right away. And so in the meantime, I'm just going to trim and cut these into bite size. I know people tend to like leave them long, but have you ever seen somebody eat that? It's like goes across their face. So I'm gonna try to cut these at least in half and then trim the ends. So that way there's some decent bites. And then we're just going to, I have over 2 pounds here, and then I'm just gonna put them in this bowl. I have water right here boiling. So it's kind of a multi-step process. Because my pot over there isn't big enough to hold, I feel, all of these green beans, I'm just going to do them in 2 increments because I am still prepping some other stuff. So it just seems like it would be easier that way, and time wouldn't matter so much. So I'm excited to do this. I don't normally eat green beans. I don't make green beans. I mean, unless it's in a medley, I don't even get by them. Our family doesn't really eat them. However, because we are hosting, I want to make sure we have green bean casserole because it's so traditional. And I will say that I have had green bean casserole this way. It was so good. So I will probably have some. Now in the recipe, it tends to have mushrooms. Okay, so if we don't eat green beans, I'm so opposed to mushrooms. So I'm gonna omit the mushrooms, and that's why I'm adding bacon. Doesn't that sound so good to have it with bacon? So I am just going to get that going and make a little bit of a Inez substitution. Look, I got them all in. I'm so excited. So I think because I chopped them apart and they had more control to them, but this is good. So I only have it going for about 5 minutes. And then I'm just going to dump the water in the sink. I have bacon ready for a couple of recipes, including one of this recipe I'm doing with the green bean casserole. And we'll get this going. Guys, I just found my onion chopper or whatever chopper up in the cabinet a few days ago. And I'm like, I'm definitely gonna need that for when I'm cutting the onions, you guys. Always. And this one's a Pampered Chef one, but I know I've seen them at Walmart and Target, and I didn't even have to like barely touch it, and my eyes aren't watering, so it's a win. So I have my green beans now. I'm gonna run some cool water on them and kind of get them to stop, because now I'm going to make the sauce. So we're getting that sauce going. I have a large skillet pan, so I'm just gonna use that because I think it'll hold everything. So onions will go in there, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of my bacon, not of that, a whole pan, but maybe about maybe 6 to 8 slices of it ish. So we're going to do that and add it in there, and then I'll transfer it to a bowl, and then we'll start getting the liquids going. So in the really quick time lapse, I even added a little bit of the garlic. So all of these ingredients will be in a recipe down below in the description box. And so now I added more butter because this is a diet recipe. So actually I did cut some of the butter out because I just felt like we had so much butter. So now I'm adding some cornstarch because we are going to be making a sauce. So we're gonna be using a lot of half and half, you guys. And so I love that it's in the same skillet, because it's gonna get a lot of those renderings and all that flavor back into the sauce, which is gonna be delicious. We're gonna whisk that together for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add all of the yummy half and half. You can see behind me, it's now like thinned up a little bit, browned a little bit. When I first put it in, it was white and kind of fluffy and chunky and foamy, and now it's ready for the half and half. And then we're going to also add the seasonings like salt and pepper. So I have the seasonings in, and now we're just waiting for it to thicken. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes. But it smells, I wish I had smell-o-vision. You guys would just be, oh my gosh, my kitchen smells so good. Even Ezra is like, that smells really good. It's onions and garlic. So this is what's going to make green bean casserole even better. So having these fresh ingredients. And so what I will do is bring this to room temperature when it's all done, put it in the pan, and then just let it kind of rest. And then I'll cover it with the instructions, just like I did yesterday. If you didn't see that video, I'll link it to the end of this video, so that way you can go right to it. Ooh, I can't wait I have to taste this a little bit to make sure that it's got all the great seasonings. I can already smell it. It's gonna be great. So I thought I would bring you closer so that you can see all I did now. It's nice and thick, so I unplugged the skillet. I did put back our mix of this yummy onion and bacon and garlic. So I'm gonna infuse all of that into this sauce. And then pretty much all I'm doing now is I'm gonna give it a little taste and then add the green beans back in with some Parmesan cheese. Shall we try the sauce? Oh man. That is so good, you guys. It's just like making actually your own homemade like cream of something soup, but we're using vegetables, we use bacon renderings, all the goodies. So we're gonna add our green beans, add the Parmesan, which is about a cup or so, and I'm just gonna let that cool, and then I'm gonna transfer it to one of these pans over here. I mean, doesn't that look delicious? And you're probably thinking, but Inez, where are we gonna put the French fried traditional onions that go on a green bean casserole? Do not fret. I do have those. So once we get this going, I'm gonna write the directions on how to cook it up. So I'll bring it again, like the potatoes, to room temperature, and then I will cook it for 25 minutes. After 25 minutes, the French fried onions go on top and bake for 5 more minutes. So all of the traditional ingredients are on there. It looks delicious, and maybe because I made it with cornstarch, maybe even Paul will try it. Okay, so this time, as I'm gonna let it cool, I'm gonna do some other prepping. I have Brussels sprouts I'm going to make tomorrow. I have mac and cheese that I'm going to be making tomorrow. So I have to grate a whole bunch of cheese. So I'm doing that right now. Tell me in the comments what you're doing right now to get ready for Thanksgiving. Plus, we are getting our living room, the eating area set up. So I'll have to show you that in a minute. Plus, I'm bringing out the turkey and showing you how I'm prepping it. So I need to get clear up some of this counter space. And it's just so busy. All right, so I've got lots of things prepped. I got my Brussels sprouts ready to go. And the rest of that bacon goes with that recipe. So I'll try to link all these recipes in the description box below. So that way, if you'd like to go to it, you'll have a wonderful recipe. Got my cheeses all grated, and now I'm just covering up the green bean casserole with the directions to finish it up. Next up, cheese ball. So this tool is quite important when you're making a cheese ball. Knock some hands out of the way. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I have pecans here, 1 cup. And so I'm just going to just smash them as small as I can. And then I also have some pineapple that I need to make sure it's drained and nice and dry. Get as much liquid as you can out of it. So for this recipe, it calls for bell pepper, about 1/4 of a bell pepper. So I usually opted out for jalapeno. So kicked it up a notch is really good too. So I don't get like the huge jalapenos, but I don't get the tiniest ones either. So I wanted to get like something mid-size, and then I just make sure I don't put any of the seeds. So up to you, however hot you'd like it. So I'm just gonna put 1 of the bricks of cream cheese, and I always use my immersion blender. I don't have a food processor. So this is like the next best thing. So I have my jalapeno already in there, and then I'm just gonna emulsify it. You'll be able to tell when it's all like pulsed in because it's like a light shade of green. And it's very easy. So what I'm gonna do now is get some seasonings. So I'll need a little bit of chopped dehydrated onion and a teaspoon of seasoned salt. So I'm now taking the second packet of cream cheese, and I'm going to just emulsify it all together. Just bring it, I like to kind of chop up this cream cheese a little bit just to get it blended a little bit easier. But I'm just gonna bring it all together, just blend those things, and then I'm gonna just mix in the pineapple and the pecans. So this is the only thing that we need to do now is just mix this pineapple in and mix in the pecans. So I'm also going to put another cup of pecans in this bag and pulverize them again. But I'm going to do it, and it's going to be the coating for the outside of the ball. So you got these nice chunks in it with the fruit and the nuts, the good flavor from the seasonings, the onion, of course that kick with the jalapeno. And then all we're gonna do right now is get some saran wrap and put this all into the shape of a ball in the saran wrap, put it in the refrigerator, and then when in about an hour or so, or even tomorrow, which I'll probably most likely do, is put the other pecans crumbled around it. It will be so beautiful too. But I have to try it, don't you think? So wheat thins are so good with them, but I also got some different crackers. Like I have some Ritz crackers. I also have some gluten-free crackers. Let's taste. Oh yeah, so good. So here is the crushed up pecans and the cheese ball. And it will harden pretty quickly, like within an hour or so, and then you could just put it out right then and there. But since I'm doing this all tomorrow, I am gonna make sure that I have this ready to go side by side in the refrigerator, so that way it's just very easy to put together. Another great idea, don't you think? And hopefully not overwhelming tomorrow when I have 20 million things to do. Look, I'm knocking out all of this stuff. I have to put on a different apron for this one, but I want to introduce you to my little friend, the turkey cooker. Now, you probably have seen these at the store. This one is actually my father-in-law's, and I think I commandeered it. So it's mostly mine unless he needs it. And last year, and maybe even the year before, I cooked so many turkeys so quickly in this. So it still comes out to about 2 to 3 hours of cooking, but it's right there. You can lift the lid, you can make adjustments, you can baste it really easy. We do have double ovens, but I'm probably going to be using them with making sure things are cooked and also kept warm. So this is also a space saver, so to say, in your oven. And then with this being done, I am going to be setting up a table outside in our garage that I could just put all the dirty dishes on, including this bad boy. So I'll be putting that out there, and then I could be making the gravy. I can cover it up and use the juice to make the gravy out of, so I can still use all of that. So let me show you what I'm gonna do to get ready with my turkey. I need to go get some gloves, and I'm trying a different technique this year. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing this year is a dry brine. So Paul is doing a wet brine, which he is doing this afternoon. And so it'll be cooking tomorrow. It only has to go for about 12 hours or so, he said. But mine needs to go for about a day. So it's about 10 o'clock. And so by tomorrow, I should be ready to rock and roll, don't you think? So what I'm gonna do right now is just rinse it out, clean it out, get anything out that I don't want, and I'm putting it right here. And then I'm going to bring you closer because I am going to be putting some seasonings. I have rosemary, thyme, and sage, and 3 tablespoons of salt and 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. So I have some good seasonings here. Hi, Kobe. He's been helping me do some cleaning up, so I'm so glad because my dad is en route to come to our house. So I'm just trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done so we can enjoy the afternoon with him. And I need to edit this video for you guys. So let me just get this going and then I'll show you how I'm going to dry brine it. So all I'm gonna do now is pat dry. I want this as dry as possible because the seasonings are gonna stick better. Yeah, I had a minute where I couldn't find the gizzards. And while I'm drying, I'm also going to separate the skin from the breast muscle. So there's like a thin membrane. Get under there. Oh, yeah, it's kind of icky, but it's gonna be so good. So keep drying. Okay, so now that my skin is nice and dry, we're gonna sprinkle some of this salt inside, and then we're gonna go underneath the skin. We're gonna just kind of get under there. And then I'm gonna just kind of rub it around. So I'm also, like Paul is going to be doing, like I said, a wet brine, and he's going to be Traegering it. So he's gonna be grilling it, and it's gonna be so good smoked. I am gonna be using that handy dandy turkey cooker behind me, and I'm gonna follow the directions. So it's pretty easy. You just have to cook it per pound, like so many minutes, and look on your turkey because it will tell you the exact measure, the exact temperatures. So just kind of rubbing all of this goodness, and also tomorrow I will probably put butter all over it as well. So what's this gonna do? It's going to essentially get into the meat, and it's also going to dry out some of the skin, which will give it a nice crispiness to it. And that's what we want, you guys. We want it to be like Pinterest worthy, right? I don't know, we'll see how that turns out. But you guys, this is pretty much it. And then I'm just going to put this back in the fridge, not covered. I'm just making sure everything is evenly dispersed, that I didn't miss any spots. But it smells so good. All of these seasonings are Thanksgiving. Am I right? Thanks so much, everyone, for stopping by the channel today. I can't wait to get everything cooking. It's gonna be delicious. It's just one of my favorite meals, favorite holidays for the best foods, hands down. So thanks so much for spending these last couple of days with me as I prepped. And I hope I gave some good ideas or some inspiration or motivation to get going. Use these days, this day, to just prep as much as you can, even if that means grating some cheese. Am I right? I'll be doing some special vlogging tomorrow. I hope to get a lot of the kitchen and all of the happiness that's gonna be surrounded around the day, and I'll do my best so that I'll have something up for Friday. But stick around, rollers. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving.